Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2, and I freaking love the alternate rules, the variant rules. Yes, yeah, you can have that. So I want to talk today about one of my very favorites. Like, I think it is my favorite. Okay, so my standard variant rules that I use are automatic bonus progression, free archetype, and Ancestry Paragon. Not Ancestral Paragon, which is the feat, the general feat. Today I'm talking about Ancestry Paragon, so I'm going to read what it says, and then I'll give you my opinion. So here's what the Ancestry Paragon variant does. Building an Ancestry Paragon character. When creating an Ancestry Paragon character, instead of starting with one Ancestry feat and gaining another at 5th, 9th, 13th, and 17th, the character starts with 2 Ancestry feats at first level, and gains another at every odd level thereafter, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and so on, for a total of 11 Ancestry feats. Why do I like this? Well, flavor. It gives options. It's not because it's powerful. It is powerful, but so is the free archetype variant rule. And as Mark Seifter himself says...
I think that the structure behind Pathfinder 2 is generally pretty resilient as long as you don't mess with, like, giving, like, a lot of numbers boosts arbitrarily, like, beyond what the system normally does, or, like, change the action economy a lot. As long as you don't do one of those two things, the system is fairly resilient. You can see that because I said before in this interview, I like homebrewing. I like variant rules. So, you know, I wrote the variant rules chapter in Game Mastery Guide, and there's some in there like free archetype that's a huge power boost. But also, as I wrote in the free archetype variant, you probably don't have to actually adjust your encounters that much, if at all, for the free archetype, even though that's a pretty big power boost. It's 10 free feats, but the system's so resilient that it can completely accept those 10 free feats without, like, it doesn't break. You might not even have to adjust your encounters, and if so, maybe only by a little, not even by a whole level, even though you've increased the number of feats by that amount. Mm-hmm. I think that's a hallmark of a resilient system.
Free archetype doesn't require much adjustment. I've never adjusted anything for free archetype and Ancestry Paragons together. It doesn't matter. Because while it does make a character technically more powerful, any of the abilities that require an action is still limited by the 3 action economy. In Pathfinder 2, it's balanced. It's really hard to break this system. And so you might find that a character has an ability that you didn't expect. And so it can circumvent something in your adventure. Fine. So what? That's why they have the option of taking it. It makes them feel good and powerful and smart. Like, oh, I took this thing. Ancestry Paragon is an opportunity for players to feel smart and successful, and for them to cram more flavor in. Like, let's take the most powerful ancestry I can think of. Human. I hate playing humans. But that's just because I like being in a fantasy world with fantasy creatures, and I want to be a fantasy creature instead of a human because I'm a human. So maybe you gnomes out there love playing humans. I don't know. But some of the most powerful abilities they have are to gain an extra first level class feat or an extra first level general feat as a first level ancestry feat. So they get an extra first level ancestry feat and they get an extra one at 3rd level. If they got an extra general feat, what's that going to do? Give them a little bit higher armor proficiency? Increase their armor, maybe? Or fleet? Or they might take adapted cantrip? Adapted cantrip just, like, lets you have another spell traditions spells. Big deal. Or arcane tattoos, it gives you an actual spell. Fine. It still takes actions to cast, and they're all still cantrips. They're low-level spells, low-rank spells. Like, I can't think of anything here that breaks the game by giving them a little extra of it. Who cares? It's just more fun. And as a GM, I've discovered maybe a long time ago, but I've discovered that when I am in an adventure, many times I need the players to know a certain thing or to have a certain skill or a lore skill or to be able to take a certain action really well, to be able to either beat the adventure or find out information. And I love giving out information in the adventure. That's why I put the information in. If nobody knows, it doesn't do any good. And so if I'm like, all right, does anybody have like desert lore or anything related to like ghosts or skeletons? And then out of left field, totally forgot this archer has undead lore. Great. Okay, roll undead lore. Wonderful. Like having extra ancestry feats helps everyone. It's not super powerful. It's not going to break your game. It gives more options. It gives more fun, more flavor, makes the players feel more accomplished and clever, and gives the GMs more tools to pull from. There is no reason not to take Ancestry Paragon. If you want to talk to me, bitch at me, ask me questions, please come to Discord. The link is in the description. I'll be happy to talk over anything you want. I'll compare different ancestries with you if you like. I've made a lot of characters with a lot of different ancestries using Ancestry Paragon, and it adds flavor. It helps add to backstory. It makes a richer build. That's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. If you're a patron, thank you for being present. I'll probably be talking to you on Discord right after this because that's what I do all the time. If you want to see the entirety of that interview with Mark Seifter, the video quality sucks, but the audio is good. Here. If you want to see any of the builds that I use on Ancestry Paragon, they're all here. Take your pick, watch them all, whatever. Have fun.